Well, guardrails are meant to keep us safe, but there's a nationwide debate right now over whether a guardrail along the road around the Tri-Cities area have potentially deadly design flaws.
And that flaw, lawsuits around the country, including one here in the Tri-Cities, claim the guardrail can impale drivers who hit it rather than deflect a crash. The complaints about guardrails manufactured by a Texas company triggered a federal investigation. But a News Channel 11 investigation found not everyone thinks that there's cause for concern.
She passed it every day on the way to a job she adored.
She was just the type of employee that every EMS director would always love to have.
Sabrina Carrier, a paramedic at Sullivan County EMS, the mother of a 14-year-old son.
She was the happiest I've ever known her.
An ambassador for EMS, really. Here she was talking about the need for good training in the WJHL interview that aired in 2006.
CARES initiated. Everybody's on the same level that way.
She was succeeding in life, what she wanted to do, and then it all ended suddenly.
2 years after that interview, December 17th, 2008, Carrier's SUV ran off Highway 394 and hit that guardrail that she'd passed every day. A guardrail equipped with a safety feature designed to peel back the metal rail in the event of a direct impact. But on that day, something went wrong. Photos of the wreck show the guardrail embedded through the front of the SUV, pushing the driver's side seat into the back seat. This trained lifesaver lost her life. Sabrina Carrier was 38 years old.
It was devastating. It really was. It was a bad day. We lost a good one.
6 years later, a marker remains at the wreck scene, and Sabrina Carrier's death is part of a nationwide discussion.
In 2005, the manufacturer Trinity Industries made a modification to its ET Plus end terminal, basically narrowing the channel behind the metal plate from 5 inches down to 4. Now, by all accounts, Trinity never informed the federal government or states about the modification. The question is, was that an oversight? Was it dishonest, or was it downright deadly?
At wreck scenes across the country, similar tragic stories involving the ET Plus end terminal. Now Trinity is named in at least 8 lawsuits, claiming the end terminal failed with devastating consequences. One of those lawsuits filed by Sabrina Carrier's son. After a federal court ruling that Trinity defrauded customers by modifying that ET Plus end terminal without telling them, the Federal Highway Administration ordered new tests.
It is great to be back in Bristol,
prompting states like Virginia to halt the installation of the ET Plus end terminal. Commonwealth Attorney General Mark Herring went further, suing the company.
Trinity needs to be the one to be financially responsible for any harm,
and demanding the company pay for their replacement.
One of my goals is to make sure that the taxpayers aren't left holding the bag.
While Virginia and Tennessee's Departments of Transportation have taken the ET Plus end terminals off their approved products lists, our investigation found neither state really knows where all those questionable end terminals really are. And TDOT's chief engineer isn't convinced there's a problem.
We don't have enough information that shows that it is in the public's interest to remove 10,000 pieces of guardrail when we aren't showing any information that shows that they are posing a safety hazard to motorists.
TDOT refers to the Federal Highway Administration's announcement last month that Trinity's modified ET Plus shock-absorbing system passed all 8 government-mandated tests, affirming Trinity's long-held claim that it never intentionally misled the government or its customers.
Do you feel safe knowing that these are on the roads today across the state of Tennessee?
Well, I do.
In fact, we found TDOT replaced the guardrail end cap where Sabrina Carrier died with the exact same model her family and friends believe is responsible for her death.
It's crazy. Somebody should be held accountable. Whatever the problem was that caused her to lose her life, that it never happens to nobody else, and that her death doesn't go in vain.
Late today, a spokesman for Trinity told me that, according to a sworn deposition, a TDOT engineer said under oath that he believes Sabrina Carrier hit the guardrail from behind the end plate, that it was not a direct hit for which the ET Plus end terminal was designed. He says the company denies that it ever committed fraud and that no court has ever ruled a Trinity product to be unsafe. A Trinity spokesman told me no one, us included, wants anyone to be injured when they hit a guardrail. But it is important to note, guardrails are designed to make a bad crash less severe. That's why crash circumstances really do matter. Those circumstances include speed, road condition, the vehicle involved, the state of the driver, and many other factors. Until you have looked at all of those, it is very difficult to say any guardrail failed to do what it was designed to do. You can read the lawsuit filed by Sabrina Carrier's family and see crash test video for the ET Plus in terminal on WJHL.com.